I think back to when I grew up. I can hearken to countless discussions between my parents where, there would be an argument over why wasn't my dad ever watching me at a sporting event or going to a parent-teacher night or doing anything that involved being a part of my life. And the reality of it was he worked 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. And on the 7th day, he worked maybe 8 hours. So there was simply no time for him to do those things. And he was, frankly, incredulous that he would even be asked to do such a thing.
But he was at your wedding.
Yes, he was at my wedding.
Right. And was he at your graduation?
Yes. He, not high school, right. but college and medical school.
No.
Yeah.
Of course not high school.
Yeah.
High school is he had a few major dates where he knew the father shows up there.
And his point was, I am doing the thing that I am supposed to be doing.
That's right.
This business of working I'm not, he would say, I don't do this for me, I do this for you.
That's right.
And you can imagine that he was an extension of the culture he grew up in where, it was harsh. It was very harsh. And so now I'm sure there are many people my age who grew up in that environment and are now being confronted as the ones to change that, as the ones that will not simply be able to mirror the environment they grew up in.
Right. But first of all, your dad is still the majority of fathers on this planet today. That notion that you work to take care of your family, and when you work all these hours, it's for them. And you come to a few major events, not because you don't care about the others, but the others are not, you have not received a license to think that the others are as important. Isn't it fascinating that the high school graduation is not considered something where the father should be at? This is not things that your father decided alone. This is totally handed down, passed down through generations. Now comes your generation, and you will attend more things, right? You will attend more games, more birthdays, more graduations. You have a license, a collective cultural license to think of more things as places where you are A, expected to be at, B, not be frowned at for what is he doing here? Where shouldn't he be at work kind of thing instead? But there is still a lot of other places where mom will dominate culturally, and people expect her to be there and not you.
It's funny you say something there about why is he here? I used to have this reaction when I was growing up, and I would go to my friends' homes and their dads would be home for dinner and their dads would be around on weekends. And my reaction was not, why don't I have this? My reaction was, why are their dads so lazy? Mm-hmm. What is it with these lazy men who come home at 5 or 6 o'clock and have dinner and then watch TV? Why aren't they working? This is really how I felt. And I just couldn't understand this idea that a guy would sit around on a Saturday and mow the lawn and drink a beer and watch some sports. That struck me as...
Peter, but that's not just how you felt, that's how you were taught. And that's how your father was taught, because he needed some way to justify why he was working himself to the ground. So, if you want to get a man to work day and night, you have to make him feel that this is what real men do. This is what responsible fathers look like. This is what people who are driven do. This is the name of your podcast, The Drive. If not, you need to create a consonance between the behavior and the belief. And those are cultural systems. And then the son, in order to accept that his dad is never there, he needs to internalize that system too. Because otherwise he would say, I miss my dad, rather than I'm proud. I have a real hardworking father. He's never there, but he's the best father because that's how I've learned it to. I've put it together like this, and then when I see that guy who's home at 6 o'clock, I'm thinking, not a serious, not serious,
Not serious.
not serious.